Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Stogie from the Road. I told you guys the other day when I did that other video that we're going to get back to our regularly scheduled programming. And I meant this. When I first started doing these videos, I didn't know anybody, nobody knew me. All I was doing was chronicling my life on the road out here. I was so happy to be out here. I was so happy to just experience what I was doing. I was seeing all these places for the first time. And all I was doing was videoing what I would see for the first time with my eyes and what I would think for the first time in my mind and in my heart. And somehow along the way, with all the feedback that I've gotten, some great and some not so great, I started just issuing my response and my content to the not so great. And I got so used to it, I got lost along the way. So that shit's over. It's done. So let's move on. And the first thing I want to talk about is one of the most poignant moments in my career as a truck driver is when I came to this little town. This population of 10. Right behind you here, you got Route 66. Old Route 66. And right behind me, you got 40. And when 40 came through here years ago, it put a bullet in the head of this town. And I came here to the Ludlow Cafe and I met Michelle, the nice waitress. Had a good old home-cooked meal, listened to some stories, and she told me about this town. And I got done with my meal and I took a walk through this town. And it was a humbling experience because it forced me to realize my own mortality. That at one time, a family sat at that dinner table and said grace. Back over there, there's a cemetery where I know the people of this community walked across town to say goodbye to a family member. They come back here to pick up the pieces of their life. In this dirt lot, there was probably little kids that ran around and played. A couple years ago when I came through here, I saw a little kid's shoe just out here in the middle of the dirt. You look in there, you can still see the pots and pans and the people that lived here. It was like somebody just shut out the lights and this town died. But this town represents an era where iPhones didn't matter. Popularity didn't matter. Likes didn't matter. Retweets and all this bullshit that we get caught up in day after day. And I'm guilty of it myself. How many times I sat and went, how do I understand the algorithms? How do I gain notoriety? How do I do this and this and this and this? And I got lost. And I had to come back here in the middle of the desert in Ludlow, California on my way out of town to find out what happened. What happened to me? To where I let a moment like this that damn near defined me, that made me realize that we were only here for a little while, that made me realize that there are generations upon generations that have lived and died that never gave a shit about likes and algorithms and popularity. They're worried about how are we going to eat? What are we going to do? That road they're putting in over there is going to kill us. There was probably a family that owned that service station that's right over there that I'll show you later. The people that lived in this house, what were their last moments like before they walked out of there for the last time? And for some reason, we all think we're exempt from that. See, the neat thing about being a truck driver is you get out of your comfort zone and you get to go see people from different walks of life. People that don't live like you or that do live like you. That experienced different things that defined who they are. And if you take a moment to grasp that and try to get your arms around it and understand, where am I going? What am I doing? I do a lot of thinking out here. A lot of introspective analysis. I'm constantly thinking where I've come from, where am I going, how am I going to do it, how am I going to make it work. Trying to be the best version of me I possibly can, falling and failing non-stop. It never gets any easier. But somehow always figuring out how to get back up. In those moments when the people left this house, you know they had to think that. How are we going to make it work? We got the weight of the world on our shoulders. How are we going to overcome? When was the last time you thought like that? And you might. Hell, there's a lot of people that do. But the thing that's different now is that we all have found an escape route. We found an escape route to cope with these inevitable changes and adversity in life, and that is to go on here. Let's go online. Let's look at somebody else's problems. Let's pretend that we don't have any of our own, and let's pick at somebody else's. Let's act like we're infallible. Or we look at other people and we think that they are infallible. We look at other people and we think they've got it perfect and we don't. What is it, that FOMO shit? That fear of missing out? You think everybody's got it made, but they don't. You know, a lot of people complain about being a truck driver. They think it's too hard. Being a truck driver enables me to gain perspective, to get out of my comfort zone, to go see where other people have gone, where they've been, and what happened to them. Where did they go? How did they land after they left here? What did they leave behind? People say all the time about trucking, it's all about perspective. It's always about perspective in truck driving. If you just look past your windshield, if you look a little bit farther past your dashboard, past the hood of your truck, get out for a second, get out of your truck and walk in somebody else's shoes for a little while. Whether it's a fellow driver or your fellow man. We're not nice to each other anymore. We're not kind anymore. We're so comfortable reaching out and hurting somebody online. Do you think these people ever thought like that? Yeah, I'm sure it's a small town and there was gossip and there was whispers and so-and-so's this and so-and-so's that. That's small town stuff. But like I said before, it's probably how are we going to eat? How are we going to live? How are we going to keep this roof over our head? Am I a good man? Am I a good woman? We're only here for a little while. And then eventually it all just fades away. And rots. And then the next generation of little hoodlums come by and spray paints on the walls of what was once somebody's dream. This was once somebody's business. Somebody went to the bank and asked for some money to build a dream, to build an empire, to build a legacy, to make a little extra money to feed their family. Now it's just a pile of stucco and wood and spray paint and graffiti and garbage. So some may pity us for being truck drivers. So be it. I think I'm one of the lucky ones. I get to let this world quiet down a little bit, be alone with my thoughts, and ask about the how and the why, and try to come up with a solution on how to make this life that I get, this one life that I get, a little bit better before I go over there in my little final resting place. So, just something to think about out here on the road. If you're thinking about being a truck driver, it ain't all bad. It really isn't. It's actually just fine. You guys, I hope you're happy, healthy, loving and living life. And old Bonnie and I will be seeing you on the back haul. Giddy up.